Hi, this is Bonnie, and I'm going to show you today how to tie-dye, in a way, paper. And I'm going to be using Sherri Baldy's Pigment Powders. And I will have the link below, and I'm going to also have a clickable link in my video so you can see where you can purchase Sherri's products. So you can see below that I've already started doing some tie-dye. I was going to use rubber bands, and the rubber bands were a little bit large and they just kept popping off, so I thought I am just going to be doing a different sort of tie-dye, and I'm going to show you how I got this far. The first thing that you need to do is just take any plain cardstock paper like this, and what I do is I obviously I turn on the water and I get a little bit of water and I flick water onto the paper, just like, I'm going to show you right here, just like this. So I just flick it so that I really get it kind of saturated. This has a little bit of color to it because I had a little bit of pigment powder in my cup where I was testing out what I showed you to begin with. And so all I do is make sure I get it a little bit not saturated, because my paper will start to disintegrate and really just be holy. I'm just trying to get it back to what it was to begin with when they started constructing this paper. So anyway, that's what I do. I think you can kind of see how I've got it wet. So then this is the fun part, and kind of will surprise some of you, but all I do is literally take it and I just wad it up. And you can kind of tell if it needs a little bit more water by how it wads up. If it's really stiff, you need just a little bit more water to wad up your paper. This technique is kind of fun to make several card bases. If you want something that has kind of like a worn leather look, consider using cardstock like this. The Brazil paper would not work as well because it is stiffer. You really kind of need this sort of a weight of paper. And again, if it doesn't have enough, if you don't feel like it's wet enough, just flick it a little bit more and get it a little bit more damp. You can always add a little bit of moisture to it. So then what I do is, you already see it, there's a hole right there, and that's great for what I'm going to be constructing. It's okay. But the next step is I take it and I just crunch up sections, kind of like if you were really going to be doing tie-dye. And even that little hole, it's not going to bother me because of what I'm going to be doing. And you're going to really like this project in the end. It's kind of a fun one. I haven't showed you, it's a surprise, but not really, because at the beginning of the video you're going to see my finished product. So you'll know what we'll be making. But right now, we don't know what it's going to be. So anyway, you take it like that, you crunch it all up, and you get some peaks and valleys, kind of like you would, like I said, if you were going to be doing tie-dye. And if you really want to go that route and you want to find those teeny tiny rubber bands, you rubber band some of this section together just like you would tie-dyeing, and it would work also. So anyway, I've got this all crunched up, as you can see. So then the next step, you can see below what I did. I basically just take my brush, dip it into the pigment powder, a little bit of water, and I just consider this like, okay, if I'm going to be doing tie-dye, it would be the ends, all the peaks, that would be covered. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have done tie-dye before, and you can just think of it in that fashion, how you would tie-dye something. It would be more saturated because you would dip the entire fabric or cloth into the dye. In this case, I'm wanting to keep the background white, so I am just highlighting some of the areas that I want to be tie-dyed. And I think you can see now, if you want to add more colors, which I'm going to do because my granddaughter likes pink and purple. Imagine that, pink and purple. So in order for her to really like this, I'm going to go with pink and purple. You can just add it throughout. You can kind of see how I'm doing. I've already done one. When you're done and you think you're happy with the way it looks, the next thing I do is I unfold it, and I will show you that too. But first I want to add a little bit of that purple to this, so you can see what I'm talking about if you want to have more than 2 layers. And you can just add it throughout. You can see what I'm doing. It's just there's no rhyme or reason because, as you know, tie-dye, it's all one of a kind. There isn't any tie-dyes that really look similar. So there's that. I'm going to open up my purple right here, and we're going to give the purple a try. I need to put a little bit of that in the cap. There, I'm going to add some water to that. And just 1 second. Get that going. I need a little bit more water. Okay. So I'm going to take that piece up, and I'm going to just add some more, just like I told you, just like if I was going to be tie-dyeing. I'm thinking that that rubber band is kind of in the center of the peak, and I'm going more for the valleys right now, if that helps give you an idea of what I'm trying to achieve. The next step on this is I will be taking this and unfolding it, laying it as flat as possible, and then I am going to take it to my iron, and on a very low setting, I am going to iron this and have a tie-dye look. And plus, by also ironing it, it helps to dry this up a little bit faster so I can use it quicker if I want to. So I hope you can see how that looks, the look to it, and how I'm getting that to work. Like I said, you can add more if you want it more not white with the background, but I kind of like it this way. So I'm going to continue with the project and show you what it looks like. All right, I'm back, and I wanted to show you, this is what it looks like once you have unfolded it and pressed it. I wanted to let you know that when you go to iron it, to save your iron from getting any pigment powder on it, I put a piece of wax paper between the iron and this paper. So you can just see this is just such a cool way to make paper, and all from the pigment powder and just plain old cardstock. I haven't unfolded the one that we started, and I thought I'd go ahead and do that for you so you could see. Each one, like I said, is going to be different and really unique. So it makes it kind of a special project just from doing it that way too. So this is what it kind of looks like before it's pressed. And then because there's wrinkles and everything in it, the wrinkles also get pressed, as you can see in this. It's still a really sturdy paper. It's almost like making your own handmade paper, just because you've taken it back to its almost original state, but not quite, because it's pulp when you make original handmade paper. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with the project, but I wanted you to see this is what we are going to be using for our next project. Please come back for the next video so you can see what we do with this tie-dyed-ish paper. Thanks for watching, and don't forget the pigment powders are available, and I will have the links for you and everything down below. Thanks for watching.